Since I was a kid, I've been trying to keep a diary, and I have failed every time. I would do it for a couple of days and then stop. I couldn't build a habit. My assumption was going into that year off was that this might be the only year of my life. I mean, it's cool that Stefan Sackmeister does it every 7 years. I don't know if I can do that. This might be the only time. So I just thought to myself, what can I do to start a diary, actually stick to it? Because when I turn 40, I don't want to just mildly remember the 1 year off I ever had, because I was about to turn 30. And when I looked back on age 20, it was already pretty blurry. And the farther back I go, the more blurry it is. You remember big things. If somebody reminds you of something, you're like, oh, yeah, right. Or sometimes you don't. And you're like, really? It's just the farther back you go, the harder it is to remember stuff. So I thought, what can I do to finally keep the habit? And so I landed on a couple of ideas. I was just like, I've always been a visual person, so I should do it visually. I have this iPhone in my pocket now that shoots high definition video. This is iPhone 5, I think. But at the same time, I'm somebody that would go on vacation and spend way too much time capturing and recording or whatever. And it all end up in a hard drive that till this day is in a closet that I'll never look at. So it was just like, how can I make this so that it's too easy not to do and the outcome on the other side is short enough that I'll actually meaningfully look back on it in the future? I started putting all these restrictions. I kind of naturally landed on in really trying to keep this as simple as possible, so I'll stick with it. What's the minimal amount that I need to record per day? So it'll give me a visual trigger so that I'll remember what that day was. And I was like, oh, if I cut it down to a second, comes out to about 6 minutes per year. And that's got the minimum of internet attention span. It's like 6 minutes. It's like, I can make 6 minutes to watch a year of my life. And so I kind of landed on that idea. And then I got started. When I quit, I realized very quickly that it started having a positive impact on what I was doing with my time, because it would kind of get me out the door to do something that I probably wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for the fact that, well, I need to record something today. And there were a couple of days where all I recorded was me sitting on the couch watching a movie, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but it was happening a lot. It was making me very aware and accountable to, like, what did I do this week? I did this, I did that. And then I missed 2 days in a row very early on. It was a couple of weeks into the project and I was devastated. I mean, I thought I ruined it. Like every other time I tried to keep a diary, I ruined it. I couldn't do it. And I really started connecting dots about, well, I forgot because something interesting is happening in front of us. And our instincts nowadays are to take our cameras out and record it. If you're just sitting around doing nothing, that never lands in your head. And all I did was scroll Facebook those 2 days. It devastated me so much that I basically never forgot ever again, because on the one hand, I'd never want to feel that feeling again. But also I realized it really helped me understand that when you have nothing interesting going on, you're unlikely to want to capture it. I think that was really put me on a path where it just became a lifelong project at that point. At the time, I thought it would just be a year. I would do this for my year off. And then I realized what an effect it was having on me. So I thought, well, this is also really easy to do. And I'm unlikely to not have an iPhone in my pocket anytime soon. There'll probably always be an iPhone in my pocket from now on. So, all right, this is my diary for the rest of my life.